Welcome, welcome, welcome to this week's training roundtable. As a member of the Business Miracles community and in support of your highly sensitive leadership training and your leadership training program. We are here today to focus on setting boundaries as an act of resilience. And I would even say setting boundaries as an act of HSP resilience. As a highly sensitive person in business and leadership. Also valuable to connect the concept of boundaries to Q2 of this current 4Q intuitive plan. Personal responsibility, letting go to let in. And then, of course, the subcategory of Q2, dividing line, parentheses, boundaries. So what do we mean when we're talking about boundaries? Well, the definition, according to Webster Dictionary, is that a boundary is a dividing line. A dividing line. According to psychotherapist Dr. Sharon Martin, a boundary is an imaginary line that separates me from you. It separates your physical space. It separates your feelings. It separates your needs, and it separates responsibilities from and for others. Your boundaries also tell other people how they can treat you, what's acceptable and what is not acceptable. Without boundaries, people tend to take advantage because you haven't set limits about how you expect to be treated. Personal responsibility, dividing line, boundaries. Really valuable as an HSP, committed to empowerment, committed to leadership in business and in life. When we are untrained as highly sensitives, we are operating from shadows such as over-responsibility, such as overprotection, such as people-pleasing, which are all shadow reactions to not taking the personal responsibility to set boundaries. Conscious creation of boundaries for HSPs is the opposite of the shadows of people-pleasing, over-responsibility, overprotection, perfectionism. What I want to emphasize here is that setting boundaries is different from the shadow of overprotection. Please write that down. Setting boundaries is different from the shadow, the HSP shadow of overprotection. Defaulting to the shadow of overprotection is most likely because you have not, one, gotten clear on your own needs and your own values, two, gotten clear on how your needs and your values are separate from those closest to you in your business, prospects, clients, team, in your life, friends, family. And because you have not gotten clear on your needs, on your values, and how your needs and values are separate from those closest to you, you have not communicated your values and your needs, and therefore default to overprotection, which ultimately hinders you as the HSP, holding yourself back from engaging fully in business, in leadership, in life, all as an attempt to protect yourself from the possibility of overwhelm. Yet when you are clear about your needs and values and how your needs and values are separate from those closest to you, and you language those needs and values, there is no need to overprotect, giving you access to strengths such as creativity, such as intuition, such as empathy, such as deep thinking and deep feeling, all in a way that can deliciously and luxuriously be utilized and enjoyed rather than cut off, because boundaries as an act of HSP resilience have not been set. One of the tools in your highly sensitive leadership training program that can support you with getting clear on those needs, on those values, on those boundaries is the teaching of time off, on, and in. Please write that down. Time off, on, and in, which you'll find in your orientation training in your 2024 training tracks. I believe it's the 5th training for everyone. If I've got that wrong, community curator Lorna will correct me. You'll find it in your orientation training, planning for aligned productivity. Now, believe me, I've heard every excuse and every resistance to time off and in. This won't work for me. This is why it won't work for me. Always is the option and the necessity to apply the law of adaptation rather than all or nothing. Either I do time off, on, and in as Heather teaches it, or I don't. My schedule is a mess. I'm unfocused. I don't know where I'm meant to be or what I'm meant to be working on. And then therefore I can't necessarily communicate that to others. Or you can creatively design off, on, and in so it works for you. As I shared on last week's training roundtable, all track trainings are designed with the intent of engaging in the process of adaptation based on your personal needs. Let's write that down. The process of adaptation based on your personal needs. So wait, is it actually built into the track trainings, a practice of getting clear on one's needs and values to then therefore be able to better set boundaries? Why, yes, I think it is. Using the law of adaptation, all to counteract that HSP tendency for perfectionism. Let's write that down. The opposite of that HSP tendency of perfectionism is the law of adaptation. There is no gold star A+ student as an HSP in business and leadership. So valuable this time of year more than ever to dive into the inquiry of what is time off, on, and in meant to look like for you. Personally, one, I have felt that entry into this new year kick my butt up and down the calendar. What? With all of my preparation, still this new year of 2024 feels like a tidal wave that I'm working to like be in major mastery with. Number 2, I'm in constant flexibility, fluidity, and creativity with my schedule. It's an ongoing act. So what is time off, on, and in meant to look like for you in connection to boundaries? And how can this support you with clarity about what you need for your optimal productivity? Let's write that down. What you need, what I need for my optimal productivity. Clarity about what you need for your off, on, and in, all to support your parasympathetic nervous system, health and body balance, as well as life balance and business balance that allows for advancement. And also, as part of that balance, as part of that advancement, utilizing off, on, and in gives you the opportunity to prioritize self-study. Write that down. Prioritize self-study, such as, I don't know, track training time as an act of self-support and as a result of clarity regarding boundaries, all to support you with, again, parasympathetic nervous system balance, business advancement, and life balance. So what needs to be put in place regarding boundaries? separating your physical space, your feelings, and your needs and your responsibilities from others and for others, to support that balance, to support that advancement, to support ongoing resilience as an HSP in business and leadership. Let's take a breath in and let it out. Gorgeous.